Hello and welcome to Hatch Online, this screening of Hatch Online, I suppose, the Marlowe Society's premier new writing event, one of the most exciting events in the Cambridge Theatre calendar always, and we're super excited to be premiering it online for the first time, having a digital Hatch, as it were. I'm Jasper, the Marlowe Society new writing officer, and it's been really cool to produce this Hatch night. It's got 7 plays, 7 really exciting plays by 7 really incredible writers, all put together super quickly by the most incredible directors and casts and teams, and honestly it is all looking so good. There's a really good variety of plays, all really interesting, all so much fun to watch and listen to, so without further ado, please enjoy.
Hi, I'm John and I wrote Over the Threshold. I hope you enjoy it, and I'll see you later. Or earlier.
You know the worst thing about it? In every other respect, I have simply impeccable manners.
What's he saying? Derek?
Look, it's late, mate, and we got a lot of luggage, so...
Oh, I'm so sorry. Let me take those bags for you. Let it not be said that my P's and Q's are in improper places.
No, that's fine, really. Just stop messing about and open that door for us, please.
Ah, how I wish I could acquiesce, good sir. But alas, as I've said, I can't.
What does he mean, Derek? Are they shut?
It's a 24-hour hotel, Janice. Of course they're not shut. You are the doorman, right?
That's quite correct, sir.
But you won't open the door?
More than my job's worth, I'm afraid.
But that is your job. Literally your only job is to open doors.
What about this door?
All doors are one to me, dear lady, each threshold alike in its vicious scorn.
Scorn?
Scorn! Sit, friends, sit, and I'll reveal to you why these hands may never turn a handle or grace a knob.
Well, sit down then, Derek.
We're not actually sitting, are we?
It was 13 years ago.
Derek!
Oh, fine. Go on then, make it quick.
'Twas the night before the next. Mum had gone out to see her special friend Paul, and the new house was all but still.
Thrilling.
Shh!
I felt the familiar pangs of the bladder and relocated to the bathroom, making one fatal mistake. The door was shut.
Oh!
Quite. And young, ignorant fool that I was, I creaked it open.
No!
And what did I find? A middle-aged woman by the name of Barbara Snibbet squatting nonchalantly on the loo. My loo! At least, she was nonchalant until I materialised in front of her.
Special friend of your dad's, was she?
Oh, shh!
I ran, still unrelieved, but to my dismay the house had changed. Gone were my Pink Panther posters and my Dalek dressing gown. Instead, I was faced with chintz chairs, potpourri, and a DFS catalogue. The threshold had sent me back in time.
You what?
1 year back, to be precise.
Oh, no. You poor thing.
Barbara was the previous owner, you see, and she had the police on speed dial. And so, infant eyes blinded by a sudden sea of neon blue, I fled the law into the urban wilderness.
Wow.
Janice, you're not taking this guy seriously, are you?
Did you try and find your family?
I had the sense not to disrupt the timeline and left my younger self well alone. For the next year, I lived off processed scraps from the back of a local drive-through, scrounging news from the whispers of customers, the shouts of the loutish employees. For a time, I had only scavengers for company.
Sorry, how old did you say you were?
3, 4, I forget.
And you lived in a bin for a year?
I did what I had to do, to survive. But I was not ignorant, no. I learnt my letters from a new Oxford dictionary that was carelessly tossed in the trash one day, right onto my head. It became my best friend.
But you made it back eventually.
The long way round. As the old me crossed the threshold, I sprung from hiding and took his place. When Mum returned, she found a boy transformed, a wreck, a rat, clinging desperately to his dictionary.
Right, and you've avoided opening doors ever since, is that it?
Alas, Mum refused to believe my story.
Can't imagine why.
I sought to prove my integrity, to open a door and show my mum the past. Unfortunately, in my haste, I tripped across the threshold and found myself back in the bathroom, face to face once more with the squatting Snippet. It seems that it was my second, far more frightening apparition that dislodged her from doing her business and prompted her call to the police. And while my younger self escaped their clutches, I was not so lucky. I was read my rights, handcuffed and carted away.
They arrested a toddler. Those brutes.
Worse, they confiscated my dictionary. The prison was not kind to me, though this time I made better friends than the rats. Upon my release, some 6 months later, I became involved in a Chilean cartel smuggling black market washing powder into Britain, chosen for my inconspicuous age and unnatural mastery of the English language. I rose quickly through the ranks and soon abandoned hopes of returning to my family. But still, I felt the lure of the door.
Okay, well, this is all very interesting, but I really am knackered, so if you don't mind...
Derek, stop being so rude. Go on, Mr. Doorman. What happened next?
A question had plagued me ever since I had seen Snippet for the second time. Could I go back and alter past events?
But wouldn't that fracture the timeline and cause a series of unresolvable world-ending paradoxes?
What the hell, Janice?
You're quite right, of course. But temptation got the better of me. Another washing powder cartel had risen from nothing and forced mine out of business. I revealed my gift to my comrades, and so it was agreed that I would go back a year to infiltrate and destroy our fledgling rivals before they became an empire.
And did you?
With a new identity and a false beard in place, I diligently searched the shady world of fabric softener summits and detergent dinners, and I found nothing.
And I suppose you started a new cartel to lure your enemies out, did you?
Exactly right. And to my astonishment, this decoy cartel rose to such prominence that I quite forgot my mission for a time. Until, that is, my subordinates informed me that we had completely monopolised the washing powder world.
You became part of established events. Just like with Barbara on the loo.
Yes, I saw at once that it was fruitless to intervene again. But word of my curse was spreading like wildfire, and I was hounded by dignitaries and criminals alike to use my powers to their advantage. I had no choice but to escape into the past.
Where did you end up?
Everywhere and nowhere. A whisper woven throughout history. I've lived many lives and seen things you wouldn't believe. Some of them twice. I taught Shakespeare how to use a quill, invented Velcro, and was the first man to jump unsupported from a fighter jet. And all the while I've been dogged by the pull of the past, my future hanging on the swing of a door and the whim of the threshold. But now I tire of running.
Right, let's say all this is true, which it isn't, by the way. How come we've never heard of you?
Actually, it does ring a sort of bell.
Does it?
Didn't Maureen say something about wanting to step back through a door and stop herself getting that nose job?
I think she was being metaphorical.
Or was she? Many have sought my help. One, to save his wife from a fatal crash some 2 years before. Another, to warn his younger self not to get his hair cut before a school photograph. Another, to put money on the winning horse at Sandown. All compelling reasons, but whenever I decided to intervene, it almost always ended in disaster. A man dead in the same crash as his wife, and a woman crushed under a bookie's betting station.
How did you end up here?
I took this job as a doorman to remind myself of my fatal flaw and reinforce my ironclad resolve to never, ever open another door.
And they still hired you?
I make good conversation.
Oh, rubbish. This is rubbish.
But you're curious, aren't you? How many things in your life could I change for the better?
You said almost. almost always disaster, you said.
I did. Would you take the risk?
Derek, think about it. We could win the lottery. We could do anything.
I can't believe I'm sat here listening to this. Look, I'm leaving.
Go on then. But you won't, will you?
Can you really do it?
He can.
I can. What is it you want changed?
Well, 4 years ago, I was doing our weekly shop and...
She forgot to pay for a Mars bar multi-pack. She was too embarrassed to take it back, and the guilt's been eating her alive ever since.
Oh, the shame.
We've gone through some tough times because of those Mars bars. And she wouldn't even let me eat them.
They melted on the dashboard. Please, Mr. Doorman, save our marriage.
Well, I don't know.
Stop the multi-pack from falling into my trolley.
Please.
Well, as you seem like nice, simple folk, I'll do what I can. Listen very carefully. In a moment, I'm going to step through the lobby door, and I'd like you to keep your eyes shut while I do.
Why?
That is my condition.
Come on then, Janice. Shut your eyes.
Goodbye, friends. I hope this has been a suitable distraction.
He's gone.
Well, I don't feel any different. Did it work?
No, I don't. Hang on. Where's our luggage?
Oh, someone's coming through the door, look.
Hey guys, welcome to the 24-hour hotel.
Hold on. You're the doorman.
Oh, we don't have a doorman. Who has a doorman these days? Sorry I didn't come down sooner. Dodgy folk around this time of night.
You don't say.
But where did our doorman go?
Shut up, Janice.
No luggage today then? Oh, let me get the door for you, sir.
No, it's fine. I'll do it myself.
My name's Clare, and I wrote the next play that you're going to be listening to called Bus Stop. It's loosely based on my own experiences of being a teenage girl and waiting for a very long time for the bus to and from school. Fun fact, the play was partly written while I was watching Sleepless in Seattle, and so if you listen carefully, you might realise that two of my characters' names, when put together, make up a very famous Hollywood actress whose name may or may not rhyme with Meg Bryan. So, I hope you enjoy.
Missed it.
It's fine, we've got ages. We can get the next one.
Freddie was on that one.
So what? So was Ollie. You don't hear me complaining.
Freddie's the most gorgeous guy in school.
Is he?
Yup.
Is he though?
Yes!
I think he's just popular.
Since when did you like Ollie? Who is Ollie?
He's in the orchestra. He's very good at the bassoon.
Doesn't ring any bells. What does he look like?
Well, he's very tall.
Promising. I can't believe I don't know who he is.
Skinny, very pale, quite clumsy. He has a weird amount of nosebleeds. And all in all, he might be the most eligible bachelor in school.
You lost me at clumsy, but really pulled it back with nosebleeds.
Really?
No. Just so I can really build up a proper picture. And trust me, it's looking very appealing so far. What colour is his hair?
Resolutely mousy.
Of course it is.
Oh, God. Oh, shit. Shit.
Look, you just arrived.
Mr. Ryan.
Why is he here?
Why is he here now?
Someone's running late.
Again?
Miss Williams won't be happy.
Is she ever?
He won't even last the term.
Don't say that. New teachers have a very tough time, you know? As for teach first, just throwing them into the classroom straight away. It's quite cruel, really. Like throwing a fishmonger right into a shark tank.
It's really not like that at all.
Whatever. I like him.
My mother was right. I am a disappointment. Oh no. God, why are they always around? Where's the bar?
Hi, sir.
Oh, good morning, girls. I hope you've got your speeches ready.
I mean, they're due today, so it'd be pretty stupid of us to tell us if...
Yes, I'm very excited.
Fantastic. Well, girls, I'll see you in second period.
It's 5th period, sir.
What? Sorry?
We have you 5th period today. You said second?
Oh, I'll see you this afternoon then, girls.
That's the wrong bus.
Sorry?
That doesn't go by school. You're getting on the wrong bus. That's why we're not getting on it. Believe it or not, we're on our way to school too.
Yeah, that one turns off at York Road. Sorry.
Oh, shit. Embarrassing all the time. Thanks, girls. I don't know where my mind is today.
What are you doing?
I don't know. Humouring him. You make him uncomfortable.
No, I don't. That's a ridiculous accusation. Take it back immediately.
Oh, you know you do. He starts sweating every time he sees you now, ever since you pointed out that he can't say specific properly. I mean, fine, you might expect an English teacher to know the pronunciation, but to call it out while the head was in the room with all those parents on the open morning, that was very cruel.
It's the least he deserved. I think that Pacific instance was reasonable to call out.
Christ, I don't think it'll ever come. Oh God, I'm late.
Ooh, looks like he's deliberating.
Feet in 2 different directions. Could go either way.
50p says he walks it.
Fine. I think you need to give him more credit.
Right. I'll just walk it. If the bus comes along, I should be able to get on it on the way.
Oh no.
Absolute amateur.
Oh, he's so naive. Like a poor baby animal.
Except he's not. He's a fully grown man, which makes him an idiot.
What's your speech about then? For Mr. Ryan's class?
Oh, it's all about Sylvia Pankhurst. Coolest woman ever.
Oh, alright.
Yeah, she was a pacifist, communist. She refused to say who the father of her child was and was named upon her death an honorary Ethiopian.
I think I only really knew about her sister. Or mum?
Oh yeah, you're thinking of Emmeline and Christabel.
The mum and the sister.
Yeah, it's so galling because Sylvia was so much more inclusive and really, really dedicated her life to...
Hey, what's up?
Oh, hi, hello Meg. It's such a pretty name.
Thanks.
So how's your day been?
It's literally not even 9 a.m. yet.
Oh, right. I meant, what do you anticipate your day to be like, to manifest as, if you will?
What?
Yeah, I'll probably just go and jam in the music room for a little bit, fiddle about with the guitar. Then go and find a shady spot to read The Catcher in the Rye, where everyone in school can see me while they're in class.
Oh, sounds so cool. Yeah, I'll pretty much do the same, I guess, just jamming.
Oh, right. Do you play an instrument then?
No, not as such. I guess I just meant the music in my heart. Just in a practice room, jamming away to my heart.
Meg, do you not have classes to go to? I mean, we're in the same year. It doesn't make any sense for you to have so much free time. Look, whenever I come out for lunch, you're always stood outside the front gates already, and from what I can gather, you're sat at the picnic benches almost permanently.
Yeah, I know. I don't know. It's cool, I guess. I just like to hang out, to be honest.
Still doesn't make any sense, though.
Makes total sense.
Listen, I only really came over here to ask if either of you have a light, so...
Yeah, of course, yeah.
No, she's wrong. We don't smoke. She doesn't smoke. Neither of us smoke.
I mean, I could.
But you don't.
Well, anyway, I guess I'll see you around.
Oh, no, Meg. Oh, where is she going?
Probably to a super exclusive underground bunker where they do stick and poke My Little Pony tattoos on each other. Or to crouch under a bush and have a tiny urban fairy do those little plaits at the front of her hair. Or to...
All right, okay, I get it. You don't like her.
Wherever she's going, it's in completely the wrong direction for school.
You didn't answer me?
That would be because you didn't actually ask me a question. Had you asked me, what do you think of Meg? I'd have said she was a pretentious arsehole who's so self-centred that it's not that she forgets our names, but she doesn't actually know them at all. Completely oblivious to the fact that we've been in the same school for like 5 years. If you ask me, does the fact that I pine after Meg make you think less of me? I'd say, yes, it does. It really does. It's pathetic.
I see.
Yeah, well, I hope you do.
I do.
Do you?
Yes.
Do you?
I know, all right. I'm sorry. I know that you think I'm ridiculous and shallow for liking her, but...
No, I'm sorry. I should never have said that. She's the one that's ridiculous and shallow. Not you. You're amazing. You're too good for her. That's what I should have said.
Oh. Well, thank you.
You're a big old romantic like me. You just hide it better. Sometimes.
Should I take up smoking?
I think it would be best if you didn't.
Okay.
Bus is here. Shame we couldn't get the earlier one, really. I could have introduced you to Ollie.
Oh, yeah. Ollie. Oliver, the big
You don't remember who he is, do you?
No, Yeah, no.
He's only the most phenomenal bassoonophoist at school.
I'm pretty sure it's just bassoonist.
Well, I'm pretty sure you're wrong.
Oh well. At least we'll get to see Mr. Ryan doing that awkward running/walking/looking back at the bus thing on the way there. 20p says he misses it.
You're on.
Hi, I'm Frances. I wrote an exercise in Invisibility, which is kind of, it takes the fairy tale narrative and uses it to explore themes that are, oh, this sounds so pretentious, themes that are relevant today, I guess, potentially maybe, like seeing and being seen, and language and words and the act of creating, and like what's the point of that and stuff like that. Yeah, it was really fun to work on. Everyone involved was really lovely. I wrote it because I felt like I had to. I had all this stuff in my head and I had to get it down. Otherwise it would just stay in my head forever. And I can't think of anything else to say. Yeah, cool.
This story, I can't get it out of my mind. It presses on my every moment. Let me sing it to you, my dear audience, this story sadder and more truthful than the song of the sweetest nightingale, that you may share in my pain, and in that way soothe my throbbing mind. There was once a princess, there is always a princess who was called the most beautiful, even though what she saw in the mirror confused her, and her head swam with unfocused longing for something more than her small, castled existence. Something beyond her walls and reflections. A prince from a land of milk and honey and tax exemptions looked at her and kept looking at her and decided that she would be his wife. After all, he was rich and had studied land economy at Cambridge University. How could she refuse? He wooed her with beautiful words.
Princess, your beauty fills me with heady desire. Your eyes contain rivers and mountains and oceans.
Really? How would you...
Do you want to hold the stars from the sky in your hands? I will gather them myself to give to you. Do you want my life? Take it. It's yours. These bodies of ours, let us fold them together, rigid and scarred though they are.
I don't think
Just a minute, I've really got to write that down. That was really good. I'm sorry. And scar. Just a moment. Scar. Beautiful. Love me! Wait. No, I don't even want you to love me. No, I don't even need you to love me. Just see me. I am nothing without your gaze. I wither and I die without your gaze.
But the princess found this approach honestly a bit clingy, and his Tory politics actually quite grating, so she fled. And the prince's gaze followed her. She couldn't get the feeling of his gaze off her skin, no matter how much she scrubbed her body reddened and raw. As time went on, the itchy, prickly feeling of his eyes and her other suitors' eyes and the eyes of men she didn't even know on her body overwhelmed her, and she longed more than anything to be unregarded. She had long heard tales of a nearby cave-dwelling hermit who could turn fire into sand and men into angels, and presently sought him out. She found him standing outside his cave, lost in his own words.
When I woke up this morning, something had changed, and at first I wasn't sure what, but then I went outside and I was struck by just vast quantities of space. And usually I use things to fill all the space, you know, things like caves and words and spells. But these things, yeah, they all help to pad it out, this little grey life of mine. But when I went outside, the air seemed to be absolutely filled with a sort of thinglessness. Well, an absolutely thingless place this now seemed to be. Just space and space and space, and I'm just simply suffocating in all this space. But who are you and why are you in my space?
I have heard rumours about you, and I cannot decide for myself which ones are true and which are lies.
Oh, it's all true.
Even that you can...
Yeah, it's all true.
Then will you help me?
What do you need?
I need invisibility. I need...
Sorry.
Invisibility is a state I am desperately trying to achieve, you see. Nothing else matters, except for the fact that I am regarded as nothing, a pulsating, writhing body. So I wish to be nothing but unregarded. That is the crucial step.
The hermit sighed at the sincerity of her words, and he sighed again as he watched that same vague, filmy sadness settle over the princess's thoughts once more. Moved by her words, he handed her a potion which she drank without pause, ignoring the safety leaflet that came with it, so great was her desire to dissolve. The hermit shuddered.
There was a moment, just then. Did you feel it? When the whole world was the sky. Be careful.
And so, the princess faded away into the air, and so the prince was deeply saddened for a few hours, and then he stopped caring. He had other, more pressing issues to consider, like the Cambridge Union elections and taunting even emptier girls. And so the princess wandered the world, unseen and unheard and in total ecstasy. And so the hermit went back into his cave, comfortably spaceless once more, and spent his time spacing out, safe from the spacey skies outside. When this arrangement of things eventually became ridiculous, the princess returned, seeking out the hermit once more, and spoke wild, see-through words.
I have tasted the water of the great river, infused with stars, and I have seen skies bursting into clouds of doves, and I have seen skies heavy with vanilla-scented rain. Every colour have I seen, from Venetian blue to the purple of mists and fogs. And I have seen the crumbling turrets and spires of Europe, and I have seen surreal archipelagos jungled with berry-ripe bushes, and I have heard 1,000 poets sing, and I have sobbed 1,000 silent tears at the sound of their voices. Tempests of electric yellow and red have upturned mountains before my eyes. Bitter sherbets and eye-watering perfumes, acidic riches beyond the vulgar imaginings of any man.
And the hermit himself
And I have
replied,
flown on mackerel wings, and I have felt the breath of unfeeling gods, twisty forests, golden sounds, wrinkled landscapes, tangled emperors. Empty mirror after empty mirror after empty mirror have all revealed themselves to me. All this have I seen.
Where did the hermit go? It was just here.
The dawns are harrowing for me now.
Who are you speaking to? I see no one.
My eyes grow heavy and dark, and I tire of landscapes of colours and kings and skies. Please grant me a voice again. Let my outline once again grow bold. Let me be perceived so that I can do...
No! Stop, please. Stop. I thought I could stand it. I can't. I should clarify. That might help. I'm so sorry. The thing is, every word I speak is stained with jealousy, green with it. And my head swims with envy, and my hands shake. My eyes will fill me, and my throat stands swollen with bile. Why does it worm its way into everything? It's not a productive way to live. Yes, the princess is seen again. There lies her happy ending, and yes, the eyes return, of course. She stands on the stage, and she sways, and oh, how they watch her. The story is happy. So why do these words fill my head again and again and again? Why does everything I do lead back to this story again and again and again? Why do I feel this sickness inside me? Jealousy, I think. I know it is. Why did the prince never look at me? I was here the whole time. I was speaking the whole time. Did he see nothing but empty air? I'll start again. Can I start again? There was once a storyteller. There is always a storyteller who couldn't find the words sometimes, which is obviously a problem if you're a storyteller. I mean, she stayed up all night writing meaningless verse, or sometimes she would just lie there for hours and hours. She drank red wine even though it hurt her lips because she thought it might make her a real poet like all those aristocratic, mindlessly devastating men. It wasn't a productive way to live, but she was She wanted... It's this build-up of things, you see, of pieces of paper, of words, of mirrors and reflections, of skies and spaces and gods and mirrors and miracles, taxes and practice and mirrors and mirrors and mirrors. It weighs me, it weighed her down, I mean. And none of it seems to mean anything, but equally I feel that if I line it all up carefully, get it all in order, it might form an answer. Or it might just create something beautiful. Or it might create something awful. Awful and sad and lonely, but if I can tell the story properly... Fuck. Let's begin again. There was once a princess.
Hi, my name is Harry Balden. I'm the author of the next play. I just wanted to write something that tried to do two things. First, made some attempts to respond to the last few years in the sense of crescendoing tragicomedy of things. And second, a lot of comedy plays, I think, start out quite funny and slightly peter out. So as an experiment, I tried to write something that got funnier as it went along. And so this starts almost semi-serious and gradually introduces more elements of comedy. So I've come up with this short piece about a newspaper. This is Roulette Gazette, starring Mariam Abdel-Razek, Nusrat Tapadar, Jade Franks, Jamie Bisping, and Tiger Lily Hutchinson. Script editing was provided by Henry Coleman and Rohan Sharma, as well as contributions from the cast.
What's the story?
Oh, hi, I've just got to go get the final quotes off this source.
Oh, of course. First front page headline from Nadia. Big day.
Yeah, one day I'll catch up with you.
Well, I mean, it's a long way to go, but you've made a start at least. Go on then, how'd you get it?
She asked me to do it.
Oh, well done. Higher calling. Intimidating, isn't she?
Yeah, it was the way she said, it'll be fun.
Oh, well, good luck.
Hi, so good of you to ring back. It's Nadia. Yeah, I just wanted to say I'm so glad you've agreed to do this. This is exactly the kind of thing we need. Yeah, no, it'll be the front page. Yeah, tonight to go out tomorrow. What do you mean, no? No, we didn't agree tomorrow. We said explicitly it would be today. Yeah, what's wrong with tonight? Well, let me finish, Oliver. Well, how do you think that makes me feel? Okay, and a very pleasant day to you too. Well, we don't have a headline.
Have fun telling that to her.
Oh crap, have I got to tell her?
Well, yeah, there's no way I'm telling her. I'll start heading up though. She'll want to talk to me about finding a new headline. Go on the internal phone line. She's just 0.
Fine. I guess it has got to be me to tell her. 2 minutes, 2 phone calls, bringing bad news. Oh, hello! Just to say about our headline. Well, we have a problem.
Do we?
They've pulled the story.
What do you mean pulled?
I mean completely, no trail or anything.
We go to press in less than an hour, and presently our front page is a blank piece of paper.
Well, at least we've got the headline for tomorrow's edition.
Tomorrow's edition? You're in the wrong industry. There is no tomorrow's edition. Okay, let's just see what everyone else has got. Right, Rosie's here. Come on, bounce ideas off of me.
What's our inside lead?
We've got an exclusive about defence contracts going to political party donors.
Well, that sounds good. Surely we could just bump that onto the front page.
Yeah, we could, if putting contractor on the cover didn't have the same effect as putting them into a medically induced coma of boredom. Anyone who buys can have a very interesting read about this important issue on page 2.
Alright, well, what's everyone else doing?
Everyone else is going on the rising crime stats.
Well, we could just do that then.
No, you can't just have a newsstand where everyone's feeding them the same thing. I mean, why do people buy newspapers? If we're all just going to parrot each other, it's just Facebook with a price tag.
Well, we could go on the same thing, but in a slightly different way.
Explain.
Go at it from a different angle.
What? Go on rising crime stats, but from a pro-crime perspective. Youths of today show industry and application. Just do the unexpected. We're not the SAS, Rosie. Jesus, the proprietor's coming for lunch tomorrow. How am I going to explain that to him?
Well, we could do an issues piece.
Expand.
Well, I don't know. It's not like there's a shortage of things happening right now.
Well, what do you have in mind, exactly?
Well, I mean, there's a president of America who, when you actually pay attention to what he's doing, is pretty weird. I feel like every day is weird now if you just stop to think about the state of things.
Yeah, but if every day is weird, it's not new, is it?
It is important, though.
Yes, it's important, just not new. It's not news, is it? News should be new. No one's watching the BBC Importance. They watch BBC News.
Well then, I just don't see anything we can do other than sit here and see if something happens.
Well, we have to send out a paper tomorrow, even if nothing happens. And unless someone famous decides to have a heart attack, then we're going to have to think of something ourselves.
I'm here. You asked to see me?
Right. This is what we're going to do. We are going to make the news.
What do you mean, make? Are we going to have our own scandal as a company and then report on it?
Yeah. One of us could funnel money into a pyramid scheme or hack someone's phone.
We could do that, but that wasn't what I was thinking of.
Oh.
No. What I was thinking was, right, it's a classic trick. We get someone to write an incendiary column and then we report on the controversy that the column is causing. We put the column on page 1 under the news story, and then we try to find someone who's pissed off about it.
That's perfect.
And then we can do a follow-up column where the person doesn't quite retract what they've said, but talks about some of the lessons they've learned.
Wow, this is why you're the editor. This is great. But who do you think would do it?
Oh, I have an idea. Melinda Crawley?
That's actually a good idea. Melinda!
Hello?
Melinda, I'll cut straight to the chase. Look, I know it's not your day tomorrow, but we've got a gap and we need you to do us a favour.
I'm listening.
We were thinking perhaps you could put out one of your more challenging columns, let's say.
Well, I'm in the middle of dinner right now, but I can maybe sit down and bash something out.
Great. So, anyone pissed you off lately?
I'm thinking.
I mean, obviously we don't want too big a target.
Exactly.
And nothing where people will get really mad as opposed to just generating a bit of noise.
No, we don't want anything too bad.
Right, so, what are your thoughts?
What about the Welsh?
The Welsh? That's a great idea.
Oh yeah, the Welsh, they're great because, I mean, they're not organised enough to actually put in boycotts or whatever, like Scotland or Liverpool.
Agreed. I don't think you'll get cancelled for the Welsh.
Oh, I wasn't worried about that. They'll never cancel me.
You're right. Teflon Melinda, you've actually said so much that people don't get annoyed about it. They just sort of shrug when it's you. They can never cancel you.
I'd like to see them try.
Thank you, Mel. You really are a credit to this newspaper, as was your father back in the day. And of course, him being the former editor has nothing to do with your working here.
Well, I've got to be going now, but can I just get writing straight away then?
Yeah, you can get going if you want. Good luck with your research.
Oh, research! Yeah.
Honestly, I admire that woman so much. I don't know how she does it.
Yeah.
To just think of a perfect target, like the Welsh. Out of nowhere, even under pressure, she delivers.
Yeah, absolutely. She's still got it, even after all these years.
Now you see why the entire family has worked here. We have a paper tomorrow thanks to her.
Shit.
What is it?
The mail's just come out. They've got our inside lead. Look, they tweeted it out.
What, the contractors thing?
Yeah, it's now their exclusive inside lead.
It never lasts, does it?
Well, what are we going to do? We've only just found a front page. Now we've got to think up an inside lead as well.
Can we get Melinda to insult someone else?
No. The next person I see better give me a miracle.
Oh, shit. He's here.
What?
The proprietor.
I thought he was coming tomorrow. Shit.
Hey guys, just thought I'd pop down.
Hiya, hi.
Oh, no, don't let me interrupt. You carry on. Isn't this exciting? Everyone running around.
Oh, you exaggerate.
Always love seeing life on the production line. So, how's it all going?
Oh, fine.
Well, that's beautiful.
We had a bit of a problem looking for a headline. Our main story got embargoed, but it's all sorted now.
Oh no, that doesn't sound good.
Yeah, well, we've fixed it now, so that's good.
Groovy. So, what did you come up with?
We're going to get one of our columnists to cause a little bit of controversy and then report on the fallout of that.
Oh, I love a self-sustaining business. What's the controversy? Anything fun?
Miranda Crawley is going to write a column insulting the Welsh.
And then we're going to get reactions from prominent Welsh people and members of the Welsh Parliament and so on.
Oh. Right.
Is there a problem?
No. Well, you see, tomorrow I'm going to a dinner party with,
Yeah, dinner party. What's the issue?
With, Rob Brydon.
Oh. Well, do you think he'll mind?
Yeah, he won't mind.
Well, maybe we could get away with one, if it wasn't for...
Oh, no.
Tom.
Surely not.
There's more.
Jones.
I see. Well, do you really want us to change it?
No, they'll be fine.
Well, if you don't mind...
Of course I want you to bloody change it! Are you insane? I own this paper to get people to come to my dinner parties, not send them away. Think of something else. Anything.
Yeah, okay, we'll think of something.
I'm supposed to be at this thing tonight with the Prince of Wales, and I do not want a gasp rippling through the room at 10:30 when they announce the headline that my paper has declared a holy crusade against Wales. Surely you have a backup.
Well, that's an interesting question.
Well, I hope for your sake you can think of something. You there, underlings.
Hi.
Yes?
Perhaps you've got something, because the cracks are starting to show at the top.
Well, we'll do our very best.
Anyway, must be going. That lunch tomorrow is still on, by the way, and I'd better be in the mood to enjoy my food.
For fuck's sake! Oh, of course they all know each other. Everyone knows each other. That man will never understand the media. When he walked in here a few years ago, I said he'd be trouble, didn't I? Didn't I? Remember when his investment fund got in a rivalry with that Chinese state company and we had to run that editorial saying take back Hong Kong?
Yeah, I do remember that.
Why does he do this? We're losing money anyway. There's no news. There is no news. Someone bring me a headline.
We could just do a scare story.
Yes, I like it. Foods that cause you cancer. Let's go.
Aren't we supposed to be above that kind of thing?
Well, it sells, doesn't it? Right, come on, ping foods at me. They've got to be commonplace, but with a vaguely sinister edge.
Carrots?
Eggs.
Cheese.
Hummus?
Parsnips.
No, you're all just listing foodstuffs now. This doesn't work, right? We're running the original story. I'm going to call the source.
No, I really don't think that's a good idea.
Hello? Yes, I do think it's an appropriate time to call. No, I don't think I'm being rude. But Oliver, I'm talking at a normal volume. Look, I was just phoning about... Well, can you at least let me finish the question before you refuse it point blank? Well, yes, it is my job to find a headline, and by asking you, I don't think I'm burdening you. Hello? Hello? Hello?
Oh, look. The president just tweeted out that smoking is good for you. Can we do anything with that? Guy seems to be losing his grip.
And he's not the only one. I don't know why he carries on with this.
Oh, I think she's going to lose it.
Yeah, I've never seen her like this. Normally she's just kind of like a human ironclad.
Well, we've got to think of something.
I just don't know if I can do this anymore.
Hang on, she's still going. Think of something. Make something up.
Oh, I don't know, something about the royals? I mean, no one knows if that's true or false, do they?
Yeah, that makes sense. What would we make up?
That princess, Sally or whatever she's called, that she threw something at a footman again.
Oh, I don't know, it seems a bit mean, doesn't it?
Well, they're only there for our amusement anyway. And she's probably thrown something at someone at some point in her life.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, probably. We've got an idea.
I'm all ears.
Okay, so basically we're gonna...
Wait, turn on the TV.
What?
Something's actually happening somewhere. Is that a general?
Right, okay, he's making a statement.
Wait, is this a coup?
Oh, right, a coup. Well, that's something, I guess. We could run with this.
Where is it? Colombia?
Excuse me. Can anyone speak fucking Spanish? No one? Right, well, we'll just, fine. We'll take what someone else has written and pass it off as our own. Simple.
We can't run it.
Wait, why not?
No one cares.
What do you mean no one cares? Look at it, it's got generals and emergency statements and things. It's a big deal.
Unless we can link it to housing prices or something, people just don't care. People look at some generals taking over a country far away and think, oh, it's just stuff. It's just the stuff of the day. It's raining today. I'm wearing my pink shirt. The train was 2 minutes late and there's a coup going on somewhere. Cool. What's for lunch?
Well, isn't it important to them?
I'm sure it is, but we're not them.
So, we really just have nothing then?
Nothing. We could just, have a completely blank page as a statement or something.
About what?
I mean, we wouldn't tell them, would we? It's blank.
Okay.
It's a joke.
You don't normally joke.
What's that? Is that your phone?
Yeah, that's you, Nadia.
Oh, sorry. Oh, well, that's something.
What is it?
The president's tweeted that water is a shield to electricity.
What? That doesn't make sense.
That's literally what it says. It says water is a shield to electricity. Read it.
It does say that.
We run with this.
What?
This is our front page.
Do we? I mean, it's not news, is it?
Isn't it?
Yeah, we can have a pun headline and everything. This one will shock you. That'll do.
Yeah, I mean, that can work.
But it's just stupid.
Right, get on it.
Like, after all this is what we're going for.
I said get on it.
I'll write it up now.
Actually, I think Nadia can take lead on this one.
Well, good luck, I guess, Nadia.
Thanks.
Wow. I feel like
Spare your homilies.
I feel like there's a lot of noise all the time, but underneath it, we're just drifting.
Well, that's one way of looking at it. Until tomorrow, I guess.
Until tomorrow.
Hi everyone, I'm Cadence, and I've written a short play called The Roses Forgot Her, which I'm very excited to be launching into the wild, crazy world of the internet this evening. I guess this play did kind of come out of quarantine in the sense that I've been spending a lot of time over the last few months missing the bustle of everyday life, little things like watching people have an argument when they aren't members of your immediate family, or catching little fragments of somebody's conversation as they walk past. So I guess, in a sense, this play is a little bit of a love letter to all those tiny interactions we have every day, because I think we often forget how important they are. And it's also a tribute to the power of language and to the frustration we feel when putting things into words becomes difficult, which are, of course, both things I'm extremely familiar with as a writer. In a slightly less serious vein, it's also the result of an afternoon I spent procrastinating work by watching YouTube clips of circus aerialists in the 1960s. So I hope you all enjoy the play.
Yes? I'm the new guy, Jacob.
O'Reilly?
Yes, sir.
Stop with all that sir nonsense, okay? Time enough for sir when I start to get pissed off. You're late.
I'm so sorry,
Rule number 1, never waste time on excuses. Yeah?
Yes, understood. I mean, I understand.
Oh, quit that stuttering! Now, we're quite quiet at the moment, so we've only half our rooms occupied, so that's 6. Hope you can do basic maths.
Of course.
Now, the Smiths will be out, always out by 10 they are, trying to get round the sights of London in 4 days or something. I call it cheapskate. Mr. Henley is leaving today, so he'll need his bags packed, of course. And then there's a Spanish couple in room 13, surname impossible to pronounce, of course, so they'll want some wine. But don't give them the expensive stuff, nothing too fancy, okay? I saved that for my special guests, so don't go promising them the Imperial Decay. And then we've got this American couple in room 13, I believe they are, always on Do Not Disturb, and I wouldn't go in there if you value your youthful innocence. Wait until later. And then there's Mrs. Southall Grantham, of course. Tell her I'll be bringing a parcel for her later, and don't forget to ask about her daughter in Switzerland. Yeah? Oh, and then there's Mrs. Fitzgerald. She lives here. You can leave her until last. She talks.
She lives here?
That's what I said.
But, why?
Doesn't have anywhere else, I suppose. She's been here 20 years. It was old Mr. Farrow who let her in, not me. She pays half the bloody room rent, she's been here so long. Look, if you ask me, I think it's almost irregular, but can't get rid of her now.
Why? Did she have nowhere else?
She was some kind of circus performer. All the same, that lot. Once they can't perform, then nothing.
Does she not have family?
She never talks about them.
Did she never marry or have children?
You ask a lot of questions, don't you? Jeez, go on, get a move on. I have Mrs. bloody Southall Grantham ringing up in half an hour asking for a mid-morning coffee. On with it.
Yes, sir. Mr. Roberts.
One and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, and that's when he caught me. I don't expect you remember that now, do you, Tony? How I always used to wrap my arms around you because in midair you couldn't tell me to stop. And you get so annoyed afterwards, but forgive me when I looked at you long enough. La Rondine. That's what they used to call me. The swallow. Only swallows fly in flocks, and I was always all alone. Flying high on those rings every night, lights in my face, reaching for them like a squirrel reaches for the next branch. Not exactly the most dignified metaphor, is it? Well, that's what my mother used to call me. A squirrel. Poor mother. She always thought I was rather undignified. Good girls don't swing around in the air in a little leotard like that. I always used to like to feel the light. It was warmer than the real sun, and the real sun didn't make me shimmer.
Housekeeping?
Come in.
Oh, I'm sorry, Mum, I didn't mean to interrupt.
Oh, you're not interrupting. I always have my music on.
Mrs. Fitzgerald, isn't it? I'm new here.
And I'm old here. Call me Elsie.
I'm Jacob.
I know. I heard Sam shouting at you.
Have you?
Yes. I hear most things. Even over my music.
What is it?
Ravel. Bolero.
I thought it sounded familiar. My dad listened to this all the time when I was a kid.
My mother was fond of him too. And then, of course, I had a routine I did to Bolero, and the audiences loved it.
Audiences? Were you a dancer?
I was an aerialist in the circus. Oh yes. You're probably thinking, look at her. Look at how frail she is. There's no way she could have done that. Sometimes I hardly believe it myself. La Rondine, they used to call me. Look, this was me.
Wow, that's amazing.
So they said.
And you were talented.
Yes. Yes, I suppose I was.
Are you alright, Mum?
Yes. Don't worry, Jacob. My eyes aren't what they used to be.
Oh, Sam didn't say.
Sam never says. Sam likes to forget I exist.
How do you...
How do I get around? You may well ask. I know where everything is in this room, and I never leave.
Never?
In a few years' time I'll be blind. Not that it matters, really. The furniture is all where I expect it to be. I'm not going to fall over anything. And I have those memories of flying every night. Not many people can say they've flown. Perhaps I'm a bird with its wings clipped. But better that than a bird that never flew at all.
Won't they, do anything? We go to a hospital or something?
No. I left it too late for that.
Elsie, I'm sorry.
Don't be. I haven't left this room for a long time. I'm perfectly happy up here. I've got my music and I can feel the breeze when I open the window. And some kind soul brought me books in Braille. It's wonderful what you can get these days. I only wish I could see the city. I used to have all of life underneath this window, Jacob. I can still hear it, of course, but it isn't quite the same as being able to see it.
No, I can imagine. I don't know what to make of this city yet.
Ah, you really are new.
Yeah. I came from this tiny little village. We went to cities on holiday, obviously, but I've never called one home. Until now, I guess.
You'll grow to love it soon. There's something rather wonderful about calling a city home. You see the same people you know. You wouldn't think you would, but you do. There used to be this man who sat on a bench in Hyde Park for half an hour every day to feed the pigeons. And a woman who sold souvenirs just down the road who was madly in love with Jacinta, who ran the flower stall. When I was travelling with the circus, I always used to run into the city. It was different back then, of course. Everybody knew me. All the little children who'd been excited for the circus for weeks, and their parents, and of course the young men who had pictures of me pinned up on their walls. I used to hate being recognised. I'd think of the most elaborate disguises just so a flower seller could beg me to buy their roses without bringing out a dusty autograph book. Now I wish I could be La Rondinée again.
Well, you've got to go back out there. I could take you down in the lift. Surely there'd be people who'd still recognise you.
Only those who loved the circus. Believe me, child, I'm no good for that now. Just a dusty old relic in the attic. One day someone will come and dust me off and find out I don't move anymore. And they'll throw me out like one of their old toys.
Don't talk like that. I won't let them.
Ah, youthful passion. I had that once, you know.
Look, Elsie, I know this is the first time we've properly spoken, but I don't have any friends here yet, and I'd like to be friends with you. And I don't go around saying that to lots of people. My dad always used to say I was too shy. So I'm going to clean this room and make the bed, and then I'm going to ask you if you need anything, because that is my job, but also because I want to. And then I'm going to finish my shift, and I'm going to walk home the longest way I can, and I'm going to remember every tiny detail of that walk. If you won't come downstairs with me, I'll bring the city up to you. And you're going to see it, Elsie, just like you've always wanted to. You're going to see it through my words.
Afternoon.
Afternoon. How much for a rose?
I'm afraid I'm out of roses. Can I get you something else?
No. No, that's okay.
Girlfriend fond of roses, is she?
Oh, it's not for my girlfriend. I mean, I don't have a girlfriend, but if I did it wouldn't be fair.
Okay, well, come back tomorrow. I'll have some roses then.
Looking for flowers for your girlfriend, son?
No, not for my girlfriend.
She'll have to be disappointed, I'm afraid. Jacinta never has flowers, never has roses on a Monday.
Oh, I see.
You're new around here?
Yeah.
Not for long. Everything becomes old, sooner or later. It's just a matter of how long, how quickly you let that happen.
6
eggs, 5 tins of tomatoes, 3 toothbrushes, 4. Louis always drops his. I'm sure there's something I've forgotten.
Look at her, see? She'll be old before her time.
Seems a little harsh.
The world isn't always fair, son. The world is true. Good luck with your girlfriend.
Jesus, doesn't he get it? Don't have a girlfriend.
Lucy, I love you. You know that.
I know, James. It's just... I don't know if I can trust you. You took that job in California. How do I know you don't have some other girl out there you're shagging in your spare time?
I wouldn't do that. You know that. Oh, this is because of George. But I'm not him, you know?
George is her ex, I assume? Jesus. Bit melodramatic.
Bring him up all the time. He's dead, James. He's dead. You can't just blame all of my problems on a man who isn't even here to defend himself anymore.
He's dead. But he also treated you like shit. You deserve better, Lucy. And I don't care if you don't think I'm the guy who can give you that, but as long as you acknowledge that you deserve it.
You don't understand, do you? You can't just stop loving someone, even if they're not even here anymore.
Jacob, is that you?
Yeah, how did you know?
Nobody else visits me.
Elsie, haven't you got family?
I had a sister, but she died 3 years ago. The rest of my family was the circus.
I'm so sorry.
Don't be. Nothing duller than people wanting to take pity on me. Do me a favour and turn off that music, will you?
How do I turn it off?
Lift the arm and move it off the record.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Don't be embarrassed. Right first time is better than the last guy who had your job.
Well, Sam thinks I'm useless at my job.
I wouldn't pay too much attention to what Sam thinks. Sam thinks I'm no better than a prostitute. The idea of it! Perhaps I ought to be flattered that he thinks it's a viable career at my age.
You're not keen on Sam, then?
Why would I be? He has me here on sufferance.
Well, I'm glad he does. The other guests aren't very interesting.
Really? There used to be some fascinating people when I first moved in.
The Smiths are always out. I've never met them. The Spanish couple don't speak any English, and hola is the only Spanish word I know. The American couple only have eyes for each other. Mrs. Southwell Grantham thinks it's beneath her to talk to the staff. And I haven't met the man who's just moved into room 12 yet. I expect I will later.
Fascinating.
Would you like to see it, Elsie?
What?
Would you like to see it? The city. I can describe it for you.
Go on then, Jacob. What is there in the city?
There was a flower cellar.
Go on.
There was a flower cellar. I stopped and I tried to buy you a rose, but she didn't have any. She was, she had brown hair and she thought I had a girlfriend.
Do you?
No. And then there was an old man behind me and he thought the same thing. I think he was confused. He kept talking in riddles.
And then?
And, well, then I saw a young couple. She didn't trust him. I think the ex was dead and he, I'm sorry, Elsie. I'm not describing this very well. It was also clear. It was such an atmosphere there. I felt everything and now I don't have the words.
It's okay, Jacob. Not everyone has the words.
Yeah, but I wanted you to see it, like I did.
I've managed for years without seeing it. I can manage a little longer. And I still have those memories of when I used to fly.
I failed again, haven't I?
Again?
I'm always bloody failing at everything. At school, at being strong for Mum, at this job now, at talking.
Don't let sound.
I'm sorry, Elsie. I quit. I'm quitting tomorrow. I tried to be your friend and you're better off without me. I can't go on seeing you every day knowing I tried to make you happy and I failed.
But, Jacob, I don't need to see to be happy. You speak to me, surely you see that's enough for an old woman like me. You've gone, haven't you? That's when it gets hard.
Hello, Jacinta.
Oh, hello. What can I get for you today?
Have you got any roses?
No. I'm afraid I'm all out of roses. Can I get you anything else?
No, thanks.
Well, come back tomorrow. I'll have roses then.
Okay. Thanks, Jacinta.
No problem, love.
Always roses tomorrow. Never roses today. It's like the roses forgot her.
Hiya, I'm Henry, and I'm the writer of Slander in the Playground, which is a play all about two dads, Guy and Stevie, along with their surrogate, Betsy, and they've all been called into school to talk about the behaviour of their 6-year-old child, Ollie. And it's all about the build-up to the meeting itself, and then the aftermath of what happened in the meeting. The cast are all great. I've had great help with the direction. It's a super play, guys. Enjoy.
Oh, I can't believe this is happening.
I know.
After all those parenting books I read.
I know.
I bet he gets it from you. I knew we should have used my sperm. I mean, I would never have done this. I was a prefect, I tell you, a prefect. I could have been head boy, except that little toe rag Billy Rammings got it because he snogged Mrs. Binns' geography teacher behind the bike sheds.
Is that true?
Well, it's what I was told. But then I was also told that gay people were never going to get to heaven. But my question is, why is it full of half-naked men in togas then?
Couldn't say. Well, we don't know why he's being called to the head teacher's office, do we? He might have won a prize or been nominated for something.
When they give students prizes, they don't use the words a matter of urgence, do they?
Maybe it's a very urgent prize. Perhaps it's being given tomorrow. Maybe it's a very secret prize that can only be given under the cover of a school car park on a rainy Thursday. Basically, we don't know what Ollie has done. He won't tell us. And it can't be anything too bad, surely. He's only 6.
6-year-olds can be vicious, Guy. I once got ruthlessly chased around the playground for a whole year in year 3 by that sadistic little trout, Peter Popper.
Why?
Well, he said I walked like a lady.
You do walk like a lady.
That's besides the point. I just can't believe that Ollie would act like this. I thought he was doing so well in the school. He knows all of his times tables. His project of the ancient Egyptians was very impressive. Miss Cainton says she's never seen such innovative use of loo roll in all her years as a kitchen supervisor. I mean, what am I doing wrong?
You're not doing anything wrong, Stevie. Remember, this kind of thing takes time.
And he would have won the spelling prize too, if it weren't for that swat, Emily.
What's wrong with Emily?
Nothing wrong with Emily. Her eyes are a bit close together, but can't be helped. Real problem is her mother, Beryl. Botox out to here. I mean, she claims it's just her genetics, but I don't see how it could be unless her mother was part haddock.
It could be genetics for all you know. You've barely met the woman. Oh, God, here she comes.
Why on earth is she wearing that? This is a child's intervention, not a trip to the Shangri-La. Oh, hi, Betsy.
Oh my god, fancy seeing the two of you here. It's only my favourite couple of child snatchers.
I'm not sure a planned surrogacy counts.
Oh, I'm just joking, silly. I thought gay people were meant to be funny. Crack a smile. Ollie's winning an award.
I told you he might be.
Betsy, he's not winning an award. Who told you that?
Well, they said it was urgent, and I heard they're announcing the Man Booker Prize soon.
Our 6-year-old is not winning the Man Booker, Betsy! He can barely tie his shoelaces.
He tied them when I last saw him.
He ties them for me too.
Oh, God. He hates me. I knew it. He doesn't love me. He's chosen you as his father and you as his mother, and he thinks I'm the weird uncle who he's forced to hug every Easter and Christmas. Oh.
Shh, Stevie, I'm sure that's not the case. You know how he is. Probably just playing a joke. Besides, we gave up hugging after the mass vomiting of 2015.
I still can't drink orange juice because of that.
Oh, I should have known it would never work.
No, don't cry, don't worry. It's time to go in now.
Would you like a tissue? This one's a little dirty. I think it's lipstick. Actually, it may be blood. Yeah, it's blood. Sorry, I cut my lip on a piece of paper at the office. My blouse got all messy. Looked like back in my days on the Blackpool MMA circuit. Oh, God. Sorry, Guy. Forgot you don't like blood.
Put the tissue away, please, Betsy. Now come on, Steve. It'll be over soon and then we can come home with Ollie and sort everything out over dinner.
What's for dinner?
Curry.
Oh, I hate curry.
What a shame. Come on, out you get. That's it. Betsy, could you get the door, please?
Sorry, my arm hurts from all the bleeding.
I thought it was your lip.
Yeah, but on account of the blood loss, I don't want to do any strenuous activities.
Like opening the door. How did you get here if you didn't open any doors?
I got Ron from the post room to do it for me.
Yeah, well, in the absence of charming Ron the postman, open the bloody door. Hello, we've come to see Mrs. Higginbottom.
Okay, let me check. For 6:30, lovely. Take a seat there. Can I just get a signature from the parent?
I'll do it.
I think one of you will do fine. Sorry, pet, are you bleeding?
No, don't worry. Just an accident with a claims form for a missold donkey. Someone wanted to recreate Jesus' birth, but didn't realise transportation costs to the Holy Land. Happens all the time.
Does it? Oh, love, are you crying? Do you want some tissues? I've got some round the back. I can just go...
Oh, no, don't worry. Don't worry, it's just, hay fever.
Nasty time of year for that, isn't it? My Alfred didn't sleep a wink on Tuesday because he said his eyes hurt, and I thought that was because he'd been watching too much TV. So I made us play Monopoly on an evening instead, and it was going lovely until he bankrupted me over a nasty debacle at Mayfair that involved 2 smash glasses and a trip to A&E, and ever since we've stuck to screens. I prefer it that way.
Yeah, after a couple of years you just run out of things to talk about.
I never run out of things to talk about.
You don't say.
Could you just quickly write your names on the sign-in sheet, please? That's lovely, thanks. If you want to take a seat over there, I'm sure the headmistress will be with you as soon as she's out of the staff meeting.
You don't know what he's here for, do you? Ollie Baxter-Reathley?
Oh, it's Ollie, is it? Oh dear, nasty case, that one.
Oh dear? What do you mean, oh dear? What has he done?
Can't tell you, sorry. Student confidentiality.
But we're his parents.
Very sorry, but mum's the word.
I'm his mum. Tell me.
Oh, it's not bullying, is it? Is he being bullied? Oh, I wish he just told me. Oh, why does he not feel like he can tell me things? I'm too closed off. I knew it.
No, it's not exactly that.
Oh, so you don't mean he's the bully? Oh, surely not. No, our Ollie would never do that.
As I said, I can't tell you anything. You'll have to wait until the staff meeting is over.
Oh, God, he's a bully. Oh, I've raised a bully. Oh, I'm a terrible parent.
It could be worse, though, really.
At least it shows he's got a strong personality. We've always taught him to follow his dreams.
Yes, but these are the dreams of a dictator guy. Hitler probably had these dreams. Mussolini probably had those dreams. Saddam Hussein's parents probably had this very same meeting in this very same beige corridor.
I don't think we've raised Saddam Hussein, Stephen. He's in the head teacher's office, not Al-Qaeda.
My ex-boyfriend was called that.
Betsy, I highly doubt your ex-boyfriend was called Saddam Hussein.
No, you're right. I think it was Sam something. Anyway, I bullied plenty of people in school and I'm fine. They're fine. We all got over it. It's primary school, Stevie. People move on. I'd argue I made them the people they are today.
You didn't say you were a bully in the surrogacy meeting.
Well, I wasn't going to put that on the form, was I? No, agency tells you what to put on those forms. It's all, never have I ever killed a man, and never have I ever taken cocaine, and never have I ever lived in a cave eating only rats and tonic water. Complete nonsense, of course.
Have you done those things?
Yeah, who hasn't?
Well, now that we know that our surrogate is the ex-girlfriend of Saddam Hussein and a confirmed rat-eater, I now know who to blame for the fact our son is probably going to be spending the rest of his days in a young offender institution. He's too young for Borstal.
I agree with Betsy, Stevie. Even if it is bullying, which we don't even know if it is, we can get through this together as a team.
Team of 3 best friends.
Do you mind getting some water, Betsy, please?
Of course! Anything for my favourite failed parent.
Betsy!
Just kidding. I'm sure you'll be a really good parent once you get the hang of it. Bloody water fountain, where is it?
Get the hang of it? Failed parent? Why is she here?
Because like it or not, she's Ollie's mother. She carried him for 9 months. She gave up cigars for him, and she loves him. Also, for some reason, she's the only one who can stop him biting the dentist.
Well, now I feel guilty.
Good. Just be nicer to her, will you? She's still the same Betsy we've always known. Remember on the first meeting when she turned up with her trousers on inside out and a twig in her hair?
We really were given all the possible red flags, weren't we? Why does she get to see all of Ollie's milestones? He even cried to her the other day when Sarah refused to kiss him in the playground because she said he had ugly shoulders.
He doesn't have ugly shoulders.
I know that guy, you know that, he's perfect. But as I said, children are vicious. If it goes any further, I'll have a word with Sarah's mum. I've been waiting to confront Carolyn ever since she made me do pick-up for Alicia's swimming party.
Hi guys, I'm back. Sorry it took so long. The water fountain's right at the other end of the corridor, and I stopped by an art wall of the children drawing animals, and Ollie's work is on there.
Oh, he's so talented. What did he draw?
It looked like a catheter, but apparently it was a great white shark.
See, he's probably winning a prize for his impressionist artwork, not bullying or whatever else we've accused him of.
Maybe he's been bullying people through his artwork.
The boy can't remember his own name sometimes. I think subliminal messages are slightly beyond his scope.
Are you Ollie's parents? Oh, all 3 of you? Okay, please, come on in. So, I expect you're wondering why you're all here.
Oh, I'm so sorry for anything he's done. I swear we're not bad parents. Not at all. He's always in bed on time and he eats vegetables, except for radishes and bean sprouts. And we don't let him watch TV after 6 p.m, well, except last week when he stayed up until 7 p.m, because I was a cock-up in the scheduling and they played the Teletubbies when they should have played the... Oh my God, I'm sorry.
You don't need to worry yourselves. It's just a little misunderstanding about what kind of language is appropriate for school.
He hasn't been swearing, has he?
There are certain things that he's been saying which are raising concern among the staff.
Is it his singing? Because I love Ollie to pieces, but the lad cannot sing his way out of a paper bag.
No, but we are trying to nip this sort of thing in the bud before it gets to anyone who may be offended by it.
What has he been saying?
Let me get the folder, shall I?
The folder? Oh, we've raised a repeat offender.
Well, last Tuesday, he told Maria that her parents were obtuse, conniving fascists.
What?
He didn't.
Well, that's very advanced vocabulary for a 6-year-old.
That's what Mrs. Baker thought too. And when quizzed on what he thought a fascist was, he said someone who spent lots of time on the naughty step.
He's not wrong.
3 days ago, he told David that his dad was morally void and the human equivalent of the Vietnam War.
Golly, what on earth?
What has he been doing?
And then in the afternoon, he said he would like to sit next to Emily's mother on a flight because her overly Botoxed lips would prevent harm in case of a crash.
Oh.
Bother.
What? What? Have I missed something? I always miss something.
Now, do you have any inkling of where Ollie could have picked up this kind of language? All 3 children have been very upset, and we have had several complaints about Ollie's conduct.
That's why Beryl was giving me death stares at pickup the other day.
Stephen, do you think that Ollie may be repeating several things he's heard from us? More specifically from you?
What? So everything is my fault now?
Well, you did make that Botox remark over dinner, and it's very possible.
I can't believe you.
And you do use the term fascist very loosely. You called me it once because I said smoky bacon was my favourite flavour of crisps.
Well, this is a witch hunt.
And in all honesty, it's no secret among the school community that you've had a grudge against David's dad ever since the Victoria sandwich incident.
He put mine right to the back where nobody could possibly see it. When it was by far the tastiest thing on the desk. Far better looking than his bloody shop-bought, bloody carrot, bloody slices. The Victoria sandwich was made with my own sweat and blood.
That would explain the taste.
Your sweat and blood? You told me I had to make it or I would be jeopardising Ollie's entire school career.
Whose side are you on here, Betsy?
And I never even got a slice for myself.
Stay calm, Stephen. Do you want to step outside?
Step outside? Stay calm? How am I to stay calm with these accusations of my parenting flying around?
I can't help but think we've got slightly off track here.
Agreed. How shall we move forward with this?
Well, as these insults have been traced back to a specific source, I can't say anything but to remind Ollie not to repeat things he hears at the table, or perhaps to refrain from saying certain things around him.
Thought police.
I shall pretend not to hear that. But I think that's all I can say. We've had Ollie in the other room with Miss Binks writing apology letters, and he's very excited to see you.
At least someone is.
I think it would be good if you spoke about this with Ollie tonight, over dinner, perhaps. Tell him he hasn't done anything wrong, just that there are certain things he shouldn't say, as it may hurt other people's feelings. I have some charts about how to tackle this over here. There you are. Now, I hope you have a good evening, And we'll expect to see Ollie tomorrow. He's winning a prize for his literacy work, so he needs to be on top form.
That's great. He must get it from his dad.
Yes. Me.
Yes, quite. Let's go see Ollie now, shall we?
Good night, Ollie. Sleep tight.
Well, he took that all rather well, I think.
Guy, do you think I'm a good parent?
You have your moments.
Well, then why does he tie his shoes for you, not for me?
Maybe he likes you tying them. He's 6, Steve. He thinks fish fingers come from the actual fingers of fish. Do you want me to talk to him?
No. I'm not having my emotions dependent on the whims of someone barely out of nappies. I might ask him. I'll confront him.
Confront a 6-year-old.
Sorry, wrong word. Accost.
I think that's worse.
Fine. I'll speak to him about it.
I thought you didn't want to talk about it.
I don't! Let's leave it, right? Watch something on TV.
I think Spring Watch has just started.
Oh, I can't watch that. All those hedgehogs on last week with their young, showing off about their perfect lives, perfect nuclear families, and perfect little hoglets. Oh, I bet they've never had to go to the headmistress's office to discuss slander allegations.
I assume not. They're hedgehogs.
I'm going to talk to him about it. I've decided.
I'm glad you've decided.
Yeah. Tomorrow I'll talk to him and just ask him why he ties his shoelaces for you and not for me.
And Betsy.
What?
He ties his shoes for Betsy too.
Look, if you're trying to make me jealous, it's not working. Well, anyway, I think I'm going to go up.
All right, but it's only 8 o'clock.
I know, but it's been an emotional day, and I don't even want to imagine the toll of all this on my cuticles. Time for bed, sleep, and another day to wrestle with the ills of modern parenthood. Good night. Oh, and remember, Ollie, when you see Alicia tomorrow, remember not to tell her what I said about her father looking like Tutankhamun's colostomy bag.
Stephen!
Slander in the Playground, directed by Ella Palmer, written by Henry Weighill, and the cast was starring Gregory Miller as Stephen, Guy was played by Cameron White, Betsy by Maria Telnikov, the receptionist by Beatrix Swanson-Scott, and the headmistress by Grace Beckett. Thank you very much for listening.
Hi everyone, my name's Umme and I'm really excited to share my play Eclipse with you. I don't want to say too much about it to try and keep it as mysterious as possible, but just to note that I've not done science since GCSE, so if there's any scientists who spot any inconsistencies or anything that just doesn't quite make sense, please bear that in mind. But other than that, I really hope you enjoy.
Should we swap?
Excuse me?
Roles. Let's swap.
I'll pass, thanks.
I see no reason why we shouldn't.
No.
Please.
No.
Why not?
I don't want to.
But I do.
And I don't.
But why?
I'm used to being me, and you're used to being you. There's no need to stir the waters.
Exactly. It's been the same for so long. We need a change. And it's just a role. Our personalities have nothing to do with it. At least consider it. It would be fun. Please.
We both know it's not just a role. It's our entire being. Besides, I don't need any more fun. I'm happy as I am.
What if I'm not?
We've been doing this, well, forever. Is this a new feeling?
No. It's been there a while. Quite a while. It's just getting harder to deal with. That's all.
I had no idea.
Don't worry about it. We don't see each other often enough for you to have noticed. I wouldn't have expected you to know. But consider it. Please. For me.
Okay.
Thank you.
I'll think about it.
Oh, yeah, of course. So?
So what?
What's your decision?
I can't decide now. I'll consider it and tell you my decision the next time we meet.
But we don't know when that will be.
And it's a big thing to consider. Look, like I said, we've been at this forever. You can last a bit longer. Now come on. How long are you here for this time?
How are you?
Not bad, not bad. You?
Not too bad either, thanks. Has much changed since we last spoke?
A lot, actually. Oh, they've been busy. Oh, see this here? Oh, it's completely new and it's spread so quickly. I haven't worked out exactly what it's called yet. Oh, seeing is much easier than listening, but they all seem to love it. It seems to let them do so many new things.
Yeah, looks fascinating.
You don't sound convinced.
No, it is interesting. It really is. I just meant, has anything else changed? I mean, your mind. Have you changed your mind, that is,
I know what you mean.
And?
I'm sorry.
But why?
I told you I'm happy as I am.
And I thought I was the selfish one.
Look, I just don't see how it would work. Would it even work? It's not exactly a simple swap.
Yes, it is. You just leave today and I stay. We don't exactly have responsibilities. We just have to be there.
I've never left. It's definitely not that easy.
Wait, what?
I've never left. I thought you knew that.
But the way you talk about them, it's like you know them. I was sure that you leave to go down and see them.
No, never. I just watch from up here. All day, every day.
Have you tried to leave?
Don't insult me. Of course I have. It doesn't work. Haven't you noticed? It's only ever you who visits me. Never the other way round.
Right, okay, well, if we swap, then you're me, and you can leave just like I would. We'll just have to officially announce that we're swapping. It will work, I know it.
Announce it to whom? But that's beside the point. I'm sorry, it's not happening. I'm happy here. I don't need any excitement.
And it doesn't matter to you that I'm not. You've always had the better deal, and I've never complained, not once. But surely it's my turn now? Even if it's just for a while, what harm could it do?
That's one thing I don't understand.
What?
Why are you so convinced that I have the better deal? That I always have?
Because you do.
Do I?
Yes, it's obvious. Just look at everything you were telling me about 2 minutes ago.
About how they've been changing?
Yes! Every time I visit you, you're always so happy, so proud of everything that's going on down there. That's why I thought you went down and visited, because you're so invested in each and every one of them. Pardon the pun, but you're always glowing.
But that's no different to what you see, isn't it? You've always been just as happy, if not more.
Well, like you said, you've never visited, have you? I thought it was because you didn't want to see what goes on with me. I pretend to be happy to give you that peace of mind.
It changes when you're in charge?
Of course it does. I mean, look at the two of us. We're complete opposites. It makes sense that things would change when we take over from each other.
Our appearances are different, yes, but we have similarities too, and they stay the same down there. It's not like when night falls, all of them suddenly turn into different versions of themselves, or one set of humanity is swapped for a substitute. They're the same people. What could you possibly see that's so different from what I see?
I see the opposite. You see growth. You see people enjoying themselves, having fun, being together. You see how they progress and how they thrive. You see, well, everything that's good about that tiny planet, and I get, well, nothing.
Nothing?
Well, some things, but for the most part, nothing. Nighttime is quiet. They sleep, mostly.
Surely that's not all that happens. What about the days when you take over early?
So many questions, anyone would think that I hadn't been doing this for my entire existence. But no, definitely not all the time. The young ones, not young, but still young. I can always rely on some of them to be out somewhere, but they never really seem quite themselves. I mean, I can't say for sure. It's all I really get to see, but it's definitely different to the way you see them. And I may take over early, but I take over slowly. There's only a few hours of each night where I'm really present.
But there's millions, no, billions of them. There's no way that they're all asleep or not themselves. Oh, there must be something you're not telling me.
Again with the doubt. Indoors. When you leave, they tend to stay indoors. Or if they're out, they're driving, or on a bus, or a train. They're barely outside for the sheer joy of it. I bring the cold. I bring the darkness. And that's not something any one of them chooses to spend time in.
They spend time indoors when I'm around too. I focus on different areas at different times too. You know this. I bring coldness too.
No, you bring warmth. And a lack of you means a lack of warmth. There's a big difference between a lack of warmth and an onset of cold.
Layers. Oh, they love those things. They never stop talking about them. And how to layer effectively, how to layer a good look. Layers as a fashion statement. They're clever. And they're innovative. They know how to combat the cold.
There's a difference between knowing how and wanting to. You bring warmth, but you also bring light. And they need light. So yes, I'm sure many of them are indoors when you're in charge. But many are outside, purely so they can enjoy the outside. They're outside because they want to be. They want to be seen by you. I've heard about those things, what are they called? Tans. They go absolutely wild over the thought of one. They want to be sun-kissed. They want to catch the sun. They even need some sun. But me? I'll make them crazy. I'll turn them into wolves.
You and I both know they don't believe that anymore. Oh, and besides, for every one of those bad lies, they've got hundreds of good ones. You're magical. Oh, children love you. Father Christmas, he'll only come at night. Oh, the Tooth Fairy, the Sandman. You're mysterious and magical. Surely you see how special that is.
Dreams and nightmares. Magic and monsters. They go hand in hand. And while real-life magic doesn't exist, real-life monsters, they do. They really do.
What do you mean?
If everyone slept, if everyone stayed indoors, it would be boring, sure, but I wouldn't be unhappy. But nighttime really is when the monsters come out. And some of them are worse than any monsters that we could dream up. You get to see the best of humanity. Me, I get to see the worst. And that's what I really can't bear. I'm not exaggerating. I'm really not. I know, exaggerating is what I do, but not this time. I bring darkness, and that brings the unknown. It brings fear, chaos, danger. It gives protection to those who want to do harm. It shields them, disguises them. A cloak of invisibility. These monsters, criminals, people of the worst kind, they make their home under my unwilling gaze, and they use it to their advantage. And sometimes when they're caught, if they're caught, sometimes they even use me as an excuse. It was dark. I was scared. I wasn't thinking. But what they don't know is that I was there, that I saw them, and I know that they're lying. But I'm all the way up here, and I can't do anything about it. It's ironic, isn't it? You'd think we were so powerful, wouldn't you? The sun and the moon. But we're powerless, condemned to witness humanity from beginning to end, but unable to act in any way. Don't get me wrong, I know that you must see your fair share of it too, but I don't know. You still have so much more good to look at. You can look away from the bad. And I just want the chance to do that, to see what you see.
What about bonfires? And festivals? Camping adventures? All those things. The young ones never stop talking about them. I'll admit, maybe you do see more of the bad than I do, but it can't be all bad.
Something always goes wrong. They love the idea much more than the actual event. It's never quite what they imagine.
Why are you so determined to see everything in a negative way? I'm trying to help you here.
Oh, spare me. You can help by swapping. See how well a positive mindset helps you, and then give me the lecture.
No. Hear me out. Good and bad coexist. They always have. So much of the good that I see in them is a direct result of something bad happening. Whether it's people helping someone who's fallen over get back up, or someone speaking up when they hear others making crude remarks, or the crime that you see, you get to see the way people jump in and help too.
No, I don't. Because at night, the streets are bare. Bad things happen, and no one's there to help. And that's the case with more than just crime. All those homeless people, sure, people give them their loose change during the day, but that doesn't help them at night, when it's dark and cold, and they're completely, utterly alone. Suffering, alone and in silence, with no one but me to see their pain.
But it's not just you.
Yes, it is. I just told you.
No, you have the stars. They keep you company. They watch with you. They share that burden with you.
They don't watch anything. They do their own thing.
But you can still talk to them.
What difference does that make? They wouldn't exactly provide scintillating conversation.
You're so ungrateful. Oh, it's so frustrating. So what if it's not scintillating conversation? They're still there. You have company. And I bet you've never once spoken to them, have you? You can move. You can visit me. You have freedom. And the humans, they adore you. They admire you so much, talking about whether it's a full moon or a harvest moon or whatever else. They can look at you directly without fear. And that must be such a wonderful feeling. They've even visited you. But you hardly seem to care. Sure, they want tans. They need the vitamins.
What's a vitamin?
I don't actually know. They just talk about them a lot. But no, don't distract me. Where was I? Yes, they enjoy the benefits of my light and my warmth, but they can't actually look at me. I'm up here watching them from the moment they're born until the moment they die. Each and every single one of them, I celebrate their successes and commiserate their disappointments. It feels like I'm right there with each and every single one of them, and they have no idea. You're the only company I ever have, and I don't even get to control that. It's only ever up to you when you come and visit.
Actually, it's not really that simple.
I'm still talking. Every so often you grace me with your presence, but even then it's all about you. We've been doing this forever. It's been the two of us forever, and you only realise today that I'm confined to this void, that I've never left, that this screen is all I have, that the only time I ever use my voice is when I talk to you. And I see the pain, and the suffering, and the horrors too. Have you thought about the times when I'm there, and it's hot, really, really hot, but people don't have water? And oh, how I wish that I could move, focus somewhere else, but it's not in my control. And that's suffering. Those deaths, they're a direct consequence of me, and that's just one example. There are so many more I could give you.
Is it me, or is it really, really, really hot all of a sudden?
Oh, so you noticed that, did you?
Was that you?
They have this idea, the humans, that one day I will get so hot that I'll explode. And that will cause the end. The end of Earth, and I guess the end of the moon, too. The end of all life. See, I have to be positive. I see the pain, I see the suffering, and I can't bear it either. I really can't. But I have to. Because if I let it get to me, I get hot. And I don't know if they're right. If it really will be me who eventually destroys everything. But I can't take that risk. So I smile. And I focus on the good things.
And it works?
I'm not sure.
Why bother if it's so bad for you too?
Punish them all for the crimes of a few. Who would be the monster then?
Do they say anything about me?
You're not a risk to them, if that's what you're wondering. You're more closely connected to them. I don't know how exactly, but you are. Maybe that's why you find it harder to look past their cruelty. I don't know. That's why we can't swap. It really isn't that simple. What if our attempt to swap is what causes me, or us, to explode? If we swap, is it suddenly the moon that might cause the world to end, or do you suddenly have that responsibility as the sun? We can't risk it. We can't.
Wait, your screen. What just happened to it?
It's been doing that recently. It suddenly just changes.
And it's almost clouded over, too. What is that?
It does that sometimes. Keeps changing. I used to know the patterns. I would be in certain places at certain times and other places at other times. It's how I get to know them so well. I can track their habits. But that pattern seems to be breaking. It changes more often now. It's harder to keep track. And it's sometimes harder to see, too. I suppose similar to how it must be for you.
And the streets, they're almost empty. It really looks as though I could be in charge right now.
I didn't want to tell you, but the people, they're changing too. They move from place to place more, but then they also leave their actual houses less. The chaos and mystery that goes with your domain, it's slowly seeping into mine. In a way, we are swapping. Slowly.
What does this mean?
I really don't know. But we've been at this forever with no change. Should have expected it sooner or later. I said I didn't need any more excitement, but it looks like I'm not going to have a choice in that matter. You have some choices, though. Maybe it's time you go and test them out.
Hello, it's serious, isn't it?
That's me.
Ah, yes. Well, we'll have to add another chair here, won't we?
Why would that be?
No need to be so guarded. If I'm going to be visiting more often, then I want to be comfortable, don't I?
But you've never visited before.
Yes, well, as a good friend recently pointed out, maybe it's time that I start trying out something new. Now, tell me, what's your favourite thing about the humans?
And thus, Hatch Online draws to a close. Thank you so much for watching and listening. I really hope you enjoyed the plays. Let us know if you did. The writers would really appreciate it, as would we. If you really enjoyed it, then Hatch will be back in Michaelmas term, provided Michaelmas term goes ahead properly. But we will be back in some form. So if you're a budding writer or an experienced writer or a writer of any sort, and you've got some stuff you want to work on over the summer, right away, and please submit to Hatch when the time comes in Michaelmas in October. But otherwise, have a fantastic summer vacation, stay safe, wash your hands, all that kind of thing. And yes, thank you so much for watching. Bye bye.